welcome back to the DreamHack Showdown Summer 2020. My name is Frankie Ward, and I've got Sapphire and Fearless with me right now. And we're going to take a look at the bracket to just show you in the written word what's happened in the tournament so far. In fact, Fearless, you know what? Talk me through it.
Yeah, so at the beginning, we had Arcane Wave facing off against Dead Fox. Seemed pretty easy for them. They 2-0'd them, and after that, they faced Originum. They actually gave Originum quite a good fight, but still, it ended up being a 2-0. But we did see the first OT of the whole day. And for the rest, we had Skate facing off against Giants. That was a 2-1, great fight. Could have gone pretty much either way. And after that, Giants faced Galaxy Racer, but Galaxy Racer, man, they aced that one. They 2-0'd against Giants. And now, coming up very, very shortly, we have Arcane Wave facing off against the Giants.
After that performance yesterday by Galaxy Racer Esports, Sapphire, are they your front runner in this tournament?
I think so. I was unsure of it first. It's usually a toss-up between Origin and Galaxy Racer, but man, with Claudia playing like she was yesterday, I don't know who's going to stop them. They looked fantastic. And then Anna's up. That girl's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really talk much about Kelly V yesterday. She had a phenomenal performance on both of those maps. So later on, when we go into our upper bracket final, we'll talk more about those ladies then. But right now, we need to talk about Arcane Wave versus the Vodafone Giants. Kicking off with Arcane Wave, because we haven't seen them since the opening series yesterday. So we probably want a bit of a refresher. They did fall at the first hurdle against Death Fox on their own map pick of Train and then Dust 2. Fearless, what did they lack against the Russian squad?
Yeah, this was a tough one. They're coming into this tournament the first time playing off against all of these international rosters that have been around for so long. So it's kind of like the first test. And even though they performed quite well on Train during the qualifiers, I believe it was Julka 30 bombing on that Train, we didn't really get to see as much of that cohesion from the qualifier now into this game. They used a lot of flashbangs during the qualifier, and now it seemed to be nowhere to be found. And I think they kind of need to get back with that confidence they had earlier on to get back in the game. And I think if they do that, they might have another shot.
Well, perhaps they grew in confidence as they went on, because one player who was activated on Dust 2 had more of a quiet performance on the first map was Pollen. What did you make of her performance yesterday, Sapphire?
Yeah, she had some kind of heroic moments, really, on Dust 2. It kept the first half interesting. I believe they had 5 rounds, and which on Dust 2, that's perfectly acceptable. She did bring out that I think is the auto sniper there for a bit for some freebies, which is always fun. But we're gonna need to see not just Poland today, but more of her teammates are gonna have to have some of those multi-frag rounds to have a chance in this first matchup.
Do you think that we can essentially assess how they're feeling confidence-wise based on the amount of utility usage they're using, Sapphire?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at first there was no utility whatsoever in the first few rounds, and I thought, wow, these girls are really confident. But that quickly fell apart, and they didn't really have any answers. They didn't know what to do with their utility, and there was a lot of wasted money. And when they did lose rounds, they were really broke.
Well, Giants, on the other hand, their opponents had a much more impressive opening against Gade, although that series did actually go to all 3 maps. And D7 told us in an interview that they're well drilled by their coach. However, they fell apart during their match against Galaxy Racer Esports, a team they'd faced just days earlier. And that's kind of unexpected, given that this is a team that likes to do their homework. Why didn't they do anything with that knowledge, Fearless?
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised because the Giants, they faced Galaxy Racer earlier on, I think about a month ago during the Ambush final. And they played the same maps. They played Nuke and Inferno and lost back then. And I think they were thinking, we studied them, we watched their demos. So we got this one in the bag, but it definitely didn't really show. The creation was not really there. Sometimes they were a little bit too aggressive and it kind of got the better of them. And in the end, it was a pretty easy run for Galaxy Racer.
We loved seeing Miss Lyra from Giants when she picked up the orb. I'm interested in hearing from both of you on this. Were there any other players in that squad who caught your eye? Sapphire, I'll come to you first.
Well, 80 was pretty consistent, and that's kind of what we expect from a veteran player. You could tell that she had experience playing against these top players, and really, there weren't necessarily any big moments from her, but just consistency, and that's what's important, really. As long as you can keep your team in the game, hopefully you're going to come out on top.
And Fearless?
For me, I would have to say Jenny. Her Deagle game was really strong, and in fact, they won a lot of ecos due to her, and also she sometimes bought a Deagle when the rest was just on the full buy, and it still worked. She still had that opening pick, and the economy actually was a little bit better due to that. So I'm curious to see how much of the Deagle we're going to be seeing today, because of course today is a little bit different. We didn't see it as much in the second game against Galaxy Racer, because that one was, a little bit of a or a more rougher one. But very interesting to see if she will deliver again.
Well, I need to say, Dzień dobry and hola to our fans in Twitch chat. We need to know, in fact, who you're predicting to win this one. Are you going Iberian? Are you supporting the Vodafone Giants today? Or are you supporting Poland's Arcane Wave? Polane is just like the fancy way of saying Poland. I can't believe you guys didn't know that. It's fine. You're being educated today. So we want to find out what you're saying. And in the meantime, I'm hoping that we've got some maps to look at, because we know Giants, they love a complicated map. They love a fancy strat. They banned Dust 2 first yesterday. And Arcane Wave, they like Train. So surely we're going to see Train again, Fearless?
I think so. Well, you see, they do ban Dust 2 once again. And hello, we say hi again to Nuke, and after that, Arcane Wave, they pick Inferno. Oh, and
yeah, I think
Train ban as well.
Mirage. There we go.
They did lose Mirage, I think, to Skade yesterday, but I don't think it's even getting to that third map. I hate to say it, but I think Giants might be going 2-0 here.
But Sapphire, we did see some issues with Inferno for Giants yesterday. They just didn't seem to have any ideas.
Yeah, but they also just played what is now looking like the best team in the tournament, compared to Arcane. It's definitely probably the weakest. So if their teamwork is what we think it is, and they are on LAN together, they are boot camping, they can probably more easily work through their mistakes. I think that might be a W for them today.
Velas, we've seen a lot of Giants nuke now. What can Arcane Wave do to counter the Spanish and Polish squad?
Well, they need to do something with their utility, right? They tend to actually dry peek a lot of things without the use of flashbangs. So if they have seen that, they should at least look at that and make sure that's not going to happen. If just for a Molotov somewhere, if you hear a rushing coming, and make sure to actually kind of try to slow them down as much as you can, because when they are in that fast-paced mode, they are deadly.
Let's find out then what you two are saying in terms of your predictions. All right, Sapphire, what are you saying?
I'm going with the Giants.
Yeah, and Fearless. Are you going to be different to what you said in rehearsal? That's what I want to know.
Well, I do think so, yeah. I do think that the Giants should take this one solid. I do think that yesterday's performance against Galaxy Race is not as representative of what they can do. And I think now against Arcane Wave, they can definitely pull up a better performance.
And who am I to go against the insight and knowledge of my analysts? I'm also saying the Vodafone Giants are going to take this one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 2-0. But I think that Arcane Wave will be more together than yesterday, because now they had the experience. So hopefully the nerves are in check. They're not playing Train. So I'm hoping we're going to see some fun things from them on Inferno. But let's see what the fun things of the Twitch chat are. Let's have a look at the vote. Arcane Wave 40% and Vodafone Giants 60%. So actually quite a close vote, to be honest. I'm gonna come and pop into Twitch chat during the match and just see what the fan support is like. But thank you so much to everyone who's had their say this morning. Please do keep those thoughts and that support coming. We love to see it. And what we also love to see is Potter and Pansy. And I am so excited to say that we're gonna hear them casting together after this break.
Good morning. It is bright and early. For me, at least. It's probably dark and early for you, Potter. How's it? How you doing out there, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good over here. You've got some coffee, some foam. Is that the fancy coffee, Lauren?
I've
like
got the little
fancy
frothy
coffee.
machine. Yeah, dude, I go for the frother, you know? It's an investment, but we have some great games coming up, of course. The desk kind of pre-highlighted what we were kind of expecting to see, but what are your expectations going into game one? I mean, I think it's fair to assume that the Giants definitely made a decent impression on us kind of throughout this tournament. Obviously, dropping down to the lower side of things does suck, but there's some very good competition here. What are your thoughts on this mismatch, maybe, or is it going to be a good game, do you feel? Give us a little rundown.
I definitely hope that it's going to be a good game, right? But I have to lean with the lovely desk here. I do think that Giants, they certainly have the edge just because they showed us so many more ideas yesterday, so much theory. And even in the interview with D7, we noticed that they were boot camping. Heather mentioned it. The fact that you can kind of be together and go over your issues and just hash those out really quickly on land, that factor definitely plays a huge role. But for Arcane Wave, I don't think we saw them performing to the potential that they have yesterday at all. I think there was a lot of jitters in that. Certainly the team, they underperformed and it was very underwhelming. Today, they absolutely cannot have such a slow start like they did yesterday. Otherwise, they're going to get run over once again. So my expectations, they've been adjusted certainly for the Arcane Wave side of things, but I'm still hopeful, man. I want to see Julka popping up. I want to see Olivka popping up. These are the two players that, you know, I had whispers showing, you know, Julka, she's like this high school savant from Poland who's supposed to be incredible. So definitely I'm looking out for these two players still.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind going forward. I think Train, the first kind of glimpse we got to see of Arcane Wave kind of put me on a little bit of a sour note. I mean, if you pick Train, I'm instantly thinking, okay, you got to walk into that with a reason. You can't just kind of casually walk into your nukes and trains, but it didn't quite come through in the game we saw. So hopefully, as said, as you highlighted, with the players kind of maybe a little more on point, feeling a little bit more warmed up, a little bit more ready, we can get into this. And speaking of getting into it, look at that. Look at this lovely transition. Nice one, DreamHack. We'll get this started. So what is it? Nuke, Inferno, and Mirage, if we get that far. I'll be surprised if it goes all three because of what we saw yesterday, but it could be a new Arcane Wave, and I'm hoping to see a bit of that. T-side sort out for them and T-side for the Vodafone Giants here.
Yeah, definitely so. And here we are already off with the pistol. We've got two P250 armor players drop down for Giants, and Leia, she's leading the charge. That's a nice pick off and a beautiful flashbang from D7 to kind of tee that up. But Olivka, she's dropped the bomb. It's down in the vent right now.
That could be a little bit rough to try and pick back up. AD is going to be certainly considering it, and that's going to help the matter. Already a nice little pick up there towards the vents, and there's a good, solid chance the Vodafone Giants could definitely get under the skin of Arcane Wave here, but again, we have to see what they do. Bomb has been recovered, so at least back in hand, but Pollen straight up still operating on a pretty decent level. The wrap through ramp is going to come in, so down we go. So the lower side of things, at least there should be a bomb plant at this point.
That was a clothesline and a half. Beautiful shot. Yeah, I mean, that's the bomb down. This is a 3 versus 2 retake, but D7, she's in such a forward position. She's got to get this kill. She does get it done, and now she's just playing around, jiggling. Oh, she gets a little bit out of position, but this is beautiful. Vodafone Giants, this was a 2 versus 3 post plant. Nice repositioning from D7, and man, Madzix, this is all of a sudden just going to become so difficult. Two different targets. Beautifully played from Giants. And this is kind of the strength that I spoke about yesterday, was the fact that they really do well working off of each other. You can clearly see that the communication is absolutely there. And this is the optimal play to make. It's just playing around, jiggling. Don't give your opponents an easy target to just make that retake a possibility. So Giants, even though they were a man down, they make it work.
I think those fundamentals are still shining for me from the Giants. We saw so many glimpses of that as well throughout that previous game. Here, of course, for Arcane Wave, just onto the P250s. Very limited utility already utilized, if any was invested into. So again, the little tick boxes for me is seeing maybe the Vodafone Giants can keep this nice and clean. And of course, for Arcane Wave, any damage is a bonus there. Any sort of disruption could do really well. And that's certainly a nice little wake-up call to start with. Julka, good for the confidence to get that flowing, but still, there's still further fight. That's it. P250's good. The turn from the Mac Daddy's even better, but this is looking pretty decent.
No.
Potter, why did you say it?
I don't know.
Shut the hell
I
up,
jinxed
dude.
it. I'm
Shut the hell up.
sorry. Oh, that was nice though
No,
from
you
Arcane Wave.
messed
That was
up,
so
dude.
nice. Lauren, they didn't even buy fully into this round. They only had P250s. This is the perfect scenario for them because look at this buy now. They gained so much money that they're actually going to have a stronger buy potentially than the T's coming into this round. So I do wish that they kind of didn't buy so much head armor though. That could have probably helped them have a little bit more utility coming into this round, but it's fine. We're still good. Cross smokes for Vodafone Giants. They're going to be able to make it down to secret. Olivka, she doesn't have any sound cues to give this away, so the communication, it definitely has to be there.
All right, Angie, let's see what you got. A bit of utility here and there. Ooh, a little bit of contact, but staying alive, falling away, buying time. Playing in Pollen off the side, that's not bad. The follow-up would have been even better, but they're staying alive in this one, and that is the paramount point in this. So far, so good for the CT side until suddenly the T's wake up, but Pollen is holding this one down. 2 big kills have denied any sort of control towards the vent or the site itself, and a good shutout by Arcane Wave. And this is a bit of a statement. I'm glad to see it coming in nice and early. As you said, that second round, just setting them up for potential success in that third.
Absolutely. And the reactions here, I loved it. I mean, even Poland just beasting it down secret and not allowing Vodafone Giants to get in those optimal positions to kind of set themselves up for a post plant. And look at this already. Giants, they're already just down to pistols. Now they fully invested into this round. They've got all the utility. This is just going to be a fast vent hit. Leia, she does make it down. And all this distraction, all this ground that she's gaining, it should make Arcane Wave a little bit nervous. In Poland, she just gets caught up out of position. That is not good here. Ooh, and Angie, this timing.
Timing's pretty key. And look, I'm a little upset that Jenny didn't have the deagle there after what we saw yesterday. Angie's got to go big here. Nice and quick, too. Not going to happen. Oh, dearie me. What is going on? The Eagles are working today, it seems. Already 2 players to the good. The 3 on the retake are locked out. The limited amounts of utility that the T's had, they did invest into, is holding them back pretty well here. This 3-man play back through ramp is going to be met by sheer force. Jenny, good work there, trading off the back of the kill coming in from Jolka. As still, time's running down, and I'm pretty sure this is a perfect answer back from the Giants.
The Tech 9 sound, man. You saw Jenny. She got the deagle and said, nah. I picked that Tech 9 back up. But yeah, this was a beautiful round from Giants. And we got to remember, this was just off the back of the deagles. And the Giants, once they gain some ground, once they're in a position to be able to actually trade, they do so well. And of course, it helps that Leia, she just found kind of a freebie there down lower. Definitely the communication, the possibility of a player making it down that vent, that sort of information needed to be passed along a little bit sooner. So a bit unfortunate. You can see now that Arcane Wave, they get reset. They're on a conservative buy once again. Angie, ooh, this gap. She definitely has a lot of sound cues here, a lot of information, and she might be able to catch a straggler off guard. Olivka, that's a beautiful opening.
This could be huge. They've got to know where the vast majority of this team is now, so they've got to be in a relatively quick spot to be able to get back into this. They are, though, going to control things well enough, not allow too many threats to come through. Even if the CTs are pretty well informed as to what's going on, the T side does get time to adjust themselves into somewhat competent post plants. That shot's a bit of a stunner as well. Olivka looking pretty nice, but whether it comes through to a round or not is yet to be seen. D7 sitting tight, gonna find one. That's pretty clean as well. Gonna keep the HP nice and high with Leia in combination. It's the shutdown, and the Giants control it at the very end, but it did get a little close there.
It did get a little close there. Man, this is neck and neck right off the bat. This is definitely a brawl, and this is exactly what I wanted. Arcane Wave, they're not willing to just give up. They're taking the right duels right now. Giants, they're doing a little bit better, though, on that trade game. But either way, Arcane Wave, they're in this from the get-go. So it's definitely a better start than yesterday. Angie, we see her on this AWP. She's definitely has a lot of action coming her way potentially here.
See what they go for. So far, things just Jenny outside. The gaps there again. I mean, 1 round I'll forgive it. 2 rounds it starts to be a problem, and so far it's potentially cost them a great deal here. Luckily they were stabilized in the last round and again succeed by brute force over by ramp, but It's not without its own problems. There's a couple of players now close by. You can see that AWP making its way over. Julk is well aware of what's coming through over towards control. That's a stunning second. Exactly what you wanted. And suddenly this pretty ferocious hit towards ramps looking a little bit lackluster. 80 down to almost nothing. And Leia as well pretty low. This would be a bit of a long shot.
Definitely might be a long shot, especially because Madzix now she's going to get the duel that she wants. Bomb is down. Leia all of a sudden finds herself all alone in a 1 versus 3, but there's a duel that she wanted. Taking out Angie, she knows where the other player is, and she's got an inkling that another player might be towards this control area. So that process of elimination right now, it's going through her brain. She's doing the math, calculating what her move is going to be. And these 1v1 duels, that's exactly kind of what she wants. Both players are separated.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
This is it, Lauren.
You've jinxed it, so I know it's gonna go Arcane Wave's side. So don't worry.
Oh,
you need
no.
to. You need to. You're worse than Harry was. Harry systematically almost cost someone an entire game. But I mean, you're closing in on it. But the gaps in these smokes have become a repetitive issue. Maybe just tighten that up here. Something that upon review you'll sit there and kick yourself for. But as said, the Potter curse begins.
I think Jason ruined
Potter
me.
and curse. Jason's ruined so many aspects of esports. It's not surprising to see another one falling. But here we are. Angie put to task again. Let's see if those smokes, if they even have any more to be put down. I don't think they do. Very light investment, of course, for the T's here. This close game is going to be causing the economy to be rough. And indeed, let's see if they're ready for a nice little plug out towards outside. So far, so good. And Leia and 80 this time not getting opportunities to make those deagles go to work.
Good teamwork from Arcane here, taking the right kind of duels. Angie, beautiful shot to just open it up, a nice little one tap. And once again, I'm just pointing out these duels because this is a stark difference from the Arcane Wave that we saw yesterday. Yesterday, they were very turtled up, a little bit timid in that server, not willing to make any mistakes, not willing to take any risks. Today, it's definitely a different looking Arcane Wave. They're a little bit more loosey-goosey. I'm loving what I'm seeing. But again, Giants can't take anything away from them. They're so tight-knit. The trade game is beautiful. And this time around, they exploded down. We've seen a lot of pressure towards this door vent area, and Arcane Wave, they haven't been able to really handle it. But this time, it's a little bit more breathing room. This is a nice upper execute. You can see that smoke. It's going to cut off that top hut player. Jenny R is already entering into the site, and everyone's blind.
Oh, this brings me deep, deep joy seeing a nice set piece, beautifully laid out utility. It's just garnered that control towards the upper side of things. Julk has made a play though, but if those shots are connected sooner, maybe threats could have been seen. But now we're down to 2 on the play back in. And Pollen's Spy is far from perfect. And poor old Angie has to put the backpack on, get carrying in this. But one's not bad. It's a start. Yeah, it's through smoke, but maybe there's still a little bit more room. Some flashes still to play with, some room to be had, but time now being slowed down by the CTs, taking a second to a pause to cause doubt potentially as D7 turns a flash, waits in, the swing comes out, 80 confident as ever on the widest of just sprays around on it, but it works well enough that the Giants do control this one, but this is a close affair between these two.
This is really close, and as you mentioned, Lauren, this was a nice set piece coming out of Giants. You saw them just teeing that up from the T roof side of things, and unfortunately that 2v2 retake, man, that PP, it's a little weak. That PP Bison.
Use the full name, dude. Please use the full name.
D7, she's just gonna, calculate that Molotov, drop it down at her feet. That was not a mistake at all.
10 head. That's the smart stuff right there. But yeah, we'll see what the CTs can do. It feels as though these pistol rounds can get pretty frisky. Bit of a stack, bit of a hope that they come ramp, and you never know. But I like the T's taking their time. It's just potentially good intuition to not overly go for things. Take a second or two, consider the options, try and feel out that potential stack that, well, we know where it is, but obviously they don't. Leia leading the charge so far gets a little bit of contact and maybe thinking, you know what? Nah, that feels a bit weird.
That's good on Poland not to take that bait. That was not Poland. But this re-aggress and kind of retaking this ramp, this is probably the right move for Arcane Wave to make. And Giants at the moment, they're taking their sweet time, which is as it should be, definitely trying to just gather the information, figure out where the main source of defense is going to be.
I get nervous at 25 seconds though. It's room for error, but they do have those mollies to clear those corners swiftly for them. But for now, Olivka going down is certainly a good sign. Holland's there, but 15 seconds and they've only got Jolka to find. It's all gone very well. Photo and Giants showing that they do have the poise to be able to kind of hit those later executes, use that utility to perfection and clear as they go. Maybe aside from the one towards ramp, but we'll ignore that. As Jolka going to try and do some damage on the way back through. Maybe catch a player or two here would be lovely if that could be the case. But more likely than not, going to be executed and have a head ripped off. There it is. Old D7 going to do that for free. As the Giants do start to chip away at a decent bit of a lead. Now, of course, we do know that the CT side, if you don't have that economy beside you to have the utility, it can be such a rough map to handle. But I do like seeing, Olivka opting to, sit down on a slightly worse gun, but at least still get that molly. So I'm curious if they can make something happen. Maybe these early mollies are causing some of those issues with the smokes that have been set up. So again, maybe a little bit of a forced error coming through against the T side.
Ooh, this is fast-paced, coming at a Giants, a quick connector split. Olivka under so much pressure and all alone. And although the rotations, they come just a little bit late. And I like the fact that Arcane Wave just bullied their way in. And Jolka being in the vent, oh no, it's all gone wrong. Bomb is down in the vent. Actually, it's on Leia's back. I apologize.
It's early. It's good.
It is still early. And, Leia, she's got a full minute to work with. And although it just looked so advantageous for Giants going into that round in the beginning, Arcane Wave, they forced the issue, made their way to the top, and this is a lot of room to work with for Leia here, though.
I am a little surprised. They've given enough time for a plant and a decent adjustment on a post plant, too. Leia now has the opportunity.
She didn't make any noise, though. I wish she opened that door. That would have been great. Would have potentially bought her just a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Could have kept them guessing a little more. They do have some utility. If you go one by one, I will lose my mind. They didn't. They were ready. They were there. Jolka instantly on the case. Not going to allow any problems to truly begin. So again, super scrappy game between these two. I feel as though I've been constantly impressed by Vodafone's kind of, variation on that T side, the really pacey hits, the very nice set plays, but then also the sheer grit and determination from the CTs to still make this one damn close.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely very scrappy so far. It's really great to see. And now Giants, they're almost down to the last dollar. Of course, Leia's got some more left on her back, so does Ada, but the next round, if they lose this one, it'll definitely be a lot more scrappier. And once again, D7, she's been so fast multiple times. Jenny, they are able to get that trade, and it's that same connector split.
Ooh, Jolka. Lovely. Jolka just chilling. I don't know how they Jolka just managed to get away with taking her time. Just real smooth, real casual. First one, lovely. Second one, okay. And the third, just sheer control. One clip, job done. And again, and I don't, the thing is in my head, I love the fact that the Vodafone Giants are doing that little switch up, that little kind of drop down and trying to keep that pace nice and high. But again, if it's being answered, I can't be as much of a fan as I'd like to be. It looks like a ramp play going to come out from the T, so this could be a slaughter. Already a good bit of damage done towards D7, only on the Glock though. So very, very light investment from the T side.
Definitely very light, and man, this flashbang from Leia or 80, it's gonna have to be the best flashbang they've ever thrown. Because you're right, this crossfire at ramp, it should produce. I think Giants, they have an inkling, so they're gonna kind of fall back, it seems. They don't want anything to do with that. But the options are dwindling here, Lauren.
Hey look, they've got 2 smokes, 2 flashes, a couple of P250s. It's all coming true, it's all coming together. Angie, show me the money. I miss watching good authors. You know, and my best that I've got, the timing. The best I get right now is Wardell playing Valorant. So give me something. You know what I mean? I need some joy in my life. Olivka though already gonna find 80, gonna instantly funnel those T's to a very limited area. So again, they're missing the little maybe lurk through Squeaky though. Could have really tried to capitalize on. Maybe a little overzealous, but still large and in charge as Mad Six up on top by Silo is going to provide the correct support at the right time. And Angie still held her ground and holds the orb.
Nice round from Arcane Wave. That's a nice confidence building round, but more importantly, it's a round where they can kind of stabilize their economy, start to cushion up a little bit in the bank. And this is the best position we've actually seen Arcane Wave so far in this match. So that pause coming out of Giants, it absolutely makes sense. Giants so far, they've been keeping up the pace, as you mentioned, Lauren, and just kind of changing it up. But that connector split, it seems to be what Giants are leaning on right now. I do think that coming into this round, they're probably going to want to slow things down a little bit, maybe test those secret stairs, throw that outside yard control. Yesterday, we saw them actually having yard control on multiple occasions and having a fantastic T side on this nuke. So I do think maybe they're probably going to lean into that a little bit more. Take these guns out there. Ooh, a double HE grenade on top of the hut. This is going to be juicy.
Is anyone on the other side of it? Let's see. X-ray and meter work. No one's there. It's a shame. Again, nice idea, the theory, and I love seeing it. I feel like I didn't see many set plays yesterday. I think it was very scrappy, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. It was just, I miss seeing it. Some of the most beautiful pieces can be constructed in Counter-Strike, but Angie's going to be put under pressure again, feeling the scrutiny, utility being thrown down towards the outside play, but it looks like the players managed to get themselves towards, it's Jenny. This could be a problem. Is Angie aware? I think steps have definitely been heard by this point, and support is there, but Angie's been kind of pinned into a corner. This is going to take some time, and the timing, oh, it couldn't be worse, but that one's not bad. D7 goes down, but the instantaneous trade from Ada keeps things at least competitive. But a 4v2 is getting a bit of a problem, but they keep walking out. Uh-oh. Can 80 cause any troubles? A 1v3 is a tall task here, Potter. I'm not sure if I'm a believer, especially with where that bomb may be, but Pollen's given up another. How is she getting so many individual fights here?
Lauren, I don't want to jinx it, but 80 gets caught in that reload. And, Vodafone Giants, this was a fantastic round for them. Angie, sure, she bought a lot of time. She placed a lot of pressure. The flashbangs, they were a little discombobulated. We saw Jenny having so much space in that big garage. If those flashbangs came just a second later, then Jenny could have actually full swung and peeked onto Angie there and placed a lot more pressure. But either way, the idea, it was still there. And Angie, this Molotov, it's going to ruin those smokes.
Ooh,
but this
that
time around, they've learned their lesson. They just underhand it and make their way down lower. With these Tech 9s and this much ground, Poland is going to be under a lot of pressure. That's a beautiful trade from them. This opens up a realm of possibilities at this moment.
Angie, though, quick to adjust. I like this. And that cross is so treacherous. If the T's would like a chance of getting that bomb down, you're going to have to be really, really working for it. And the CTs aren't giving up much for free this time. They're kind of hunkering down, ensuring no one slips through the gaps.
D7.
But saying that, who's getting towards ramp there? Was that D7? Potentially, I think it was, yeah. Oh, dearie me. Olivka, though, round the back, gonna find two, and suddenly the threat almost gets nullified. So D7 does have the armor, does have the gun. One smoke, 50 seconds. It's a possibility. It's a slim one, but it's certainly there. See if she can get an isolated 1v1. See if it gets down to a 1v2. No, not going to be the case. And nice work from Olivka. Taking the time, going all the way around, not being overzealous and keeping control here. This is a different Arcane Wave, if I'm honest. From what I saw yesterday, I was a little worried that we were going to get, again, the team that looked a little bit too passive, a little bit too kind of, they just didn't seem to have that direction. They seemed to, second guess themselves. Today, they seem far better off. Are the players that you were looking out for at least delivering on that front?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely Julka and Olivka at the top right now, and as it should be. If you look at the stats for Arcane Wave, these are the two heavy hitters that are consistently performing, and so it's really good to see that today they're performing once again. And even Angie outside, she's not top fragging, but the presence that she's giving, it's making Giants really nervous. As you can see, they haven't really had any control in this outside yard in these last few gun rounds. So definitely holding her ground in this outside yard is providing a lot more control for the Arcane Wave side of things.
I mean, that just sounds like, you know, let's say if there was a North American AWPer, played on CLG Red, wasn't fragging out that hard, but wanted to make it seem like they were still being really, really relevant to the round. Saying that just, you know, their presence was enough. I like that. I don't know why that came to mind, dude, but it just felt right. Pollen though, oh dear, that's a lot of money just slipped through the fingertips. D7 with a banger. D7's gonna pop it off here. D7 was pretty good yesterday, but I'm kind of liking this on the T side. And the CTs go looking. Dear me, this is a risky maneuver, but D7's still doing well towards ramp, catching anyone who dares go ahead, but look where that bomb is. Oh, Leia. This is a treacherous grab, makes it-ish, makes it. Fine, all good.
So good. This is so good for Giants. Jenny in such a good spot, even closing the door, but she definitely did not expect a second player to be there. Madzix is only on the 1 HP. This retake should be pretty secured for Giants. Post-plant, rather. Julka's going to have to do so much work. Being the healthiest player out of the two. And I think Julka at this point, she's going to have to just open the door and try to get as much contact as she can. She can't wait for too much longer.
D7's decided to just become a turret. I mean, after the round she's had, why not? That's 3, make it a 4th. Beautiful, beautiful work from D7. And honestly, I was a little worried this whole game pot was going to be a little one-sided, but actually at 8-7 on the half, it's not looking so bad. Arcane Wave looking revitalized after what we saw yesterday. So for me, so far, so good. We'll have to find out if that continues after the break in the second half.
I'm standing in the corner watching the punches fly as the tears keep rolling down my eyes. I keep on moving, holding my hands up high, fighting through the minutes, through my life. Your comments are mean, but I take it easy. You're talking to sheep, you don't seem to know me. Say what you wanna say, it's not gonna hurt. I'll make it anyway. I'm a fighter. I can be what I wanna be, and though I've been burnt, I'll make it anyway. I'm a fighter. Cause I'm a survivor. Watch me, I'm a fighter. I'm following my path. I'm keeping this dream alive. Never turning back, never run and hide. I keep on rising, reaching for the sky. You give me reason to survive. Your comments are mean, but I take it easy. You're talking to sheep, you don't seem to know me. Say what you wanna say, it's not gonna hurt. I'll make it anyway. I'm a fighter. I can be what I
And welcome back. And honestly, if yesterday you looked at the game, you thought, oh, okay, Arcane Wave, I'm not too worried about them. They're looking dangerous today. And well, for once, Petra being in chat isn't the most dangerous thing about this Twitch channel. It's this matchup. So we do see, as it stands, the Arcane Wave do lead. But a quick little start here already. Pressure towards events, keeping them guessing. Smoke out on towards event. But that's not where all the T's are. They're still holding here, Potter.
Oh no, Angie. She definitely tried to make it down the vent. She got a little bit stuck, a little bit tagged. But it does look like this is going to be an upper set piece. And, ooh, Olivka, that's a huge pickoff. That's the upper side gone.
Oh dear, yeah, definitely gone. Okay, this should be a plant. I don't see a way back in anyway soon, and you can disrupt it. You can see D7 trying, and after the close of that last round of the first half, definitely could have been deadly there, but unable to capitalize quickly. Two players watching. D7, you know, let's go.
Get her.
No, dude. It all. You need to. Potter.
I was
Stop.
encouraging her, you know?
You know what upsets me? I used to watch CLG Red back in the day. Diane, Potter, the dream team when they didn't win much. But, I'd sit there and I'd cheer for them, right? I'd cheer for them. And this is what would happen. You need to stop.
Okay.
All right?
Working on it. Arcane Wave, they've got a strong buy coming into this. But Giants, once again, they're not willing to give up this economy game. A lot of MP9s coming out across the board. And it's just a lobby crunch right off the bat. Just a pure rush.
I mean, why not make it happen? Again, honestly, I've just had such a bad time. Valorant is in its very early days. So when I get to see, nice ideas, you're on a lighter, weaker buy, do something with it. Be proactive. Try and bring those lesser guns into an area where maybe they could do something. And sure, it may not work out, but right now, it's worked out pretty well. You got yourself a rifle. You've still got 3 other players standing beside that too. I mean, this is... ain't bad. This is still dangerous. Now, of course, the T's could try. Oh no, the timing. Who gets it? It's Angie. Angie comes out the better of that one. Backwards turn just a moment ago, though. And Jenny now on red alert. Has to be so careful as the play starts coming in. Lingering through. Angie doing very, very well to keep those odds building. But the danger player Leia is still alive and pretty kicking, if anything, to go by. Angie, hero or, well, sadly, zero now. Leia keeps things interesting.
Ada needs to be a little bit more patient here, but she does go down, making this even more tough situation for Leia. That Molotov might buy her some time, but Mazix is doing a good job not giving her that duel. So once again, no kit. This was just a scrappy lobby retake here. Remix, and it was looking good, Lauren, as you mentioned. I mean, they were in those optimal positions, but it's that I think I can mentality. You saw 80 kind of sniffing out that connector area. She felt pressure to do so because, I mean, Arcane Wave, they went quiet. They went quiet, started making their way under ladder, and 80, she wanted a little bit more information to have a better optimal setup for the Giant side of things, and that was her crux. She gets taken out, and from that point, it just snowballs out of control. So an advantageous situation kind of taken away. Arcane Wave, they handle it well. Jenny R, this Deagle, you mentioned it. And there it is again. Lauren, she's back.
She's back. She's ready. Ooh, come on, let's show me the money, Jenny. Let's see what we've got. Let's do it. Yeah. That looks about right. High flash didn't work, so could have had a shot on that. But Angie is better off in the end. But Jenny still showing that she has some fine prowess with the Deagle. Even if it's just one kill. And again, for the T side, this is great. This is exactly what you want. Keeping it nice and clean. Not too many threats. Not too many worries. Yeah, you lost out on Pollen. Obviously, you'd love 5 alive, but you're going to be happy with 4. A nice, clean round. Keep that economy high. And just ensure that you're not giving any freebies away to the Giants. Once that, CT side economy becomes stabilized, it's very hard to shake it to its core. But again, we'll see what they run with on this one. I want to see what the Giants look like on this CT side. Arcane Wave up 11-7. This definitely goes against my expectations to begin with. But of course, this is the first real gun round coming in. So things could definitely look different by the end of it.
Definitely could indeed. And yesterday we didn't get to see Giants CT side very much because that nuke, it did end a little bit quicker at 16-8 versus Galaxy.
Ooh.
It's going to be interesting to see if they're able to adjust, but man, Angie just run and gun with that AK, finds that entry, and she's not stopping. She's going to make it all the way down to lower, secure this bomb site.
What a free. surely. Yeah, Angie's doing really well. This is a good performance from Angie too. I'm liking to see this. We're seeing a couple of players that we didn't get to enjoy so much yesterday coming alive, but the CT side looking worse for wear. The walking wounded at this point. Jenny, 12 HP, D7, 26, and the Molly's doing damage. It's all coming together. Julka going to be presented with 3. A target-rich environment does at least garner 1 for her, but you've now got the 2 remaining players worse for wear and probably best to back away from this.
Yeah, definitely the optimal call. And once again, it's such a tough call to make, especially when you're down numbers, down in rounds, and you definitely, feel desperate to want to be able to get a W, but absolutely being more conservative here is the right play. But they're going to have to force coming to this next round more than likely before this match just gets way out of hand and way out of control as far as that scoreline goes. But their money, you can see it. It's just not in their favor. And here's that entry coming out from Angie. Just a nice little slide outside of that ramp, outplaying and outgunning.
And I think I'm going to keep my eyes on how this T side shapes up in the future, because I didn't see enough, those kind of heavy executes coming in. Pollen, what is this? Just straight up Mac daddying outside. It's at least maybe turned the players around. I'm looking at silver linings here, Potter, and they're slim. But the 3-player success towards the upper side, certainly more than enough of a good look for them. As Angie does, again, complete almost what was begun at this round, as Ada's the last one alive.
I guess the silver linings, it works out, because either way, they are going to win this round. Unless Ada pulls a rabbit out of a hat here. 1 versus 3, no kit. This is definitely going to be challenging. And yep, Julka just clotheslines her. But yeah, I mean, that back 10 solo rush by Pollen outside, I guess it did provide enough distractions to make this hut contact play work out, but a little bit questionable.
Look, if it works, it works. It's only a bad idea if you don't win the round. But no, the one thing I was kind of looking at here is we do have a timeout called for the Giants, which I like to see. I'd rather see people use these timeouts than not. I was a little bit worried about Arcane Wave's T side. I think, again, maybe I'm leaning too much on what we saw from day one, especially on Train. It just didn't seem to have that kind of punch to it. But then again, their opponents, as we saw in their further game against, Zaz, Juliana, certainly no slouches in the way they approach the matchups. So maybe an unfair assumption on my behalf, but I'd like to see maybe some more set pieces from Arcane Wave. We haven't had to see them go to that level yet, but we do see a buy coming back in for the CT side now.
Yeah, and that was a missed Molotov, I believe. It may have clipped someone, but Jenny, this is a nice spot. Oh, she just spotted the head of Julka, and that's a good pick, a huge pick off, especially with that FAMAS. And with D7 in this 4 position, Jenny, she's going to provide even more distractions, and this should strengthen D7's position even more so. And Angie, it doesn't look like she wants to test this. But okay, so they're just setting up for the smokes here. And once again, I mean, Jenny, she's doing perfect. She's just providing this sort of distraction. If she gets a kill, that's great. But her goal here is to just tee up D7.
She can play D7 in. That would be wonderful. D7 just being held in the hands of the others. And I love CT-sided aggression. Wherever it may be, well-positioned, I think it's wonderful to watch. Now, Jenny, again, going to be put to task to keep their attention towards her rather than D7. Give her a second to operate, but... Wait, what? How did D7 get away with this? They have managed to fight past, but it has just left Mad6 by this point. But that was a little bit more sloppy than I'd have liked there. I feel as though both sides kind of fumbled that one in some way, but Mad6 going to have to try and play this out in a 1v3. Utility to hand and the bomb will create an avenue of opportunity, but it's slender at the best of times. The 30 seconds on the clock will begin to seem like a bit of a foe as well, as it does begin to tick down pretty rapidly. I think this one is going to be a walk away. Keep the gun. Sitting up on 9.8k though. Might have been fun to see if you could take some of those guns out of the opponent's hands.
Yeah, Leia, looks like she wants to hunt this one down. If she goes down, this is going to be awful for her economy. Yeah, okay, this is definitely the right play to make, thank God. And yeah, D7, that's a feels bad. I gotta say, Jenny, she threw a flashbang because she wanted to help D7 out on that contact. It was the right idea. It was a bit of a sloppy execution. Either way, though, this was such a good look for Giants coming out straight off the gate. Sorry, Arcane Wave.
For sure, I think it's For Arcane Wave, this entire map has definitely adjusted my opinion because I was quite impressed by the Giants. It was definitely like a walk away with that. On this round, we do see a slightly less than ideal purchase for the CT side, but more than enough to put up a damn good fight. Rifles galore, excluding the scout on Ada, but see what the T's do. A little bit of a close play towards ramp. This could be straight through, and Leia's going to thrive in this. That's already a second for free through the smoke. Just sees an inch and takes a mile. Nade could have done well there too, as Magic's in danger. D7 just playing as well. I've become a big fan of D7 throughout this first map here too. Nicely controlled by the CT side. First time I've seen them kind of managing things, but again, this is, they had a good purchase there, full utility beside them. First time we've seen that, maybe a little bit of ramp presence coming in, which was very well controlled here by Leia.
Yeah, you and me both, man. D7 yesterday in her player interview, she was so well spoken. She definitely seemed like a hungry player. And right there, you even saw, just kind of biding her time and out positioning her enemy instead of focusing too much on the headshots. So definitely tapping into the cerebral side of things, and it's paying off for her, man. She's been rotating, she's been the great help, she's been the anchor, she's been kind of everything for the Giants here, and that's exactly what these ladies needed in order to kind of posture for this comeback that they're attempting to do. It's definitely the right start. They've still got a few more rounds to go to actually make it a possibility, but they're on the CT side of Nuke here, Lauren, so definitely it's more than possible at this point. It's definitely looking a little bit more likely than anything, but Angie, she's got that AWP now coming out on the T side. This should make things interesting, this outside duel. It hasn't really gone Arcane Wave's way in quite some time. D7, she's been doing work, but Angie on the CT side, she was getting a lot of intel, so this time around, she's gonna poke and prod with that sniper, take some long-range duels.
Okay.
Oh, this flash.
This could be. Oh my God, it's so good. That makes me feel things. We don't feel much these days, but that definitely makes me feel something. D7 now can be drawn into attention as well towards the outside area, but beautiful flash to set that swing into play. And just the faith off the back of it. Jenny straight out there, no second guessing, believing fully the flash was going to be in place. And now a free 5v4. Utility is still with the T, so there's plenty to be worked with here. They could set something into motion. Julka, though, catching a flash as well. This is lovely from Jenny, making it so tricky to do anything on the T side here. Julka down low, but still finds masses of success against Leia, but let's see what else happens. D7 on the prowl. Look at this adjustment from D7. Over by Hut before, instantly over by Secret. And again, the CT's just not letting this one slip. They look revitalized off the back of Jenny having some brilliant success here.
Brilliant success, man. That pop flash, it was such a good play with the perfect timing. Oh man, I love to see plays like that. You can absolutely see the communication tingling between these players. Angie, now she's just got to save, man. She's got so much money on her back. It's definitely the right call to make. And all of a sudden, this may have been the card that Arcane Wave pulled out with Angie having that AWP because they didn't have any answers. So things get a little bit more difficult. Oh no! Ah!
Get your gun out, Angie. What the? Don't.
Oh. That could have gone really badly. That could have gone really badly.
Oh God. Brutal. But yeah, that flash. Honestly, that flash is my MVP. Like that's it. I'm happy. I'm done. The game's good. Don't mind who wins. It's competitive. But a curious purchase this round, of course. Or at least in scenario for the T side. Still not comfortable on the scoreboard, but leading 13-10, and they have that AWP to play around with. To supplement and complement a Mac 10 here or there, Deagle and a P250. So a little bit to play with, but we'll see if the Giants keep this under control. Let's see if they can manage any of the danger that could be coming through from that T side.
Oh, Angie, the smoke is going to dissipate soon, surely. And if Jenny's not careful here, that shotgun range, okay, she just falls back. And now Ada, this crossfire with Leia, this should surely be a bit of a slaughter fest if they come this way. Unless Angie gets a big pick off here, but that jump throws off her crosshair.
We call it duty now. just leaps the hell in. I mean, you gotta try something. I'd have liked maybe something a little different than that, but
You gotta bait the shit out of your pistolers there, Lauren.
I was about to say, like, someone's on a Mac 10, just send them in.
Bait your
That is the
teammates.
classic NA Orpa.
Come on.
Poor old, look, Jennifer and Diana like backing you up. They're like, don't be mean to Potter, and then you go and do this. You're just like, no, bait the shit out of them.
They know. They know. Listen, they know. If I'm Angie there, I tell my riflers, get in there. Let me bait you.
Love it. Absolutely
But
love
these
it.
cross smokes are definitely coming out for the Arcane Wave side of things. And as I mentioned before, this match, it's starting to become a lot more in Giants' favor. And they're doing plays like this, Lauren,
Love
just
it.
proactive aggression, consistently out timing. And Jenny R, this is, I mean, just Poland doesn't even expect it at all.
Oh, the flashes are coming in. This is beautiful to watch. Does eventually go down, but by now the T's plan has been just brought to its knees. Bad Six last alive again, and the CTs have awoken. The Giants are back up and standing on their feet. This will be 13-12, surely. A 1v4 is something that very few is going to be able to manage without some masses of errors, and shut down by Leia. And we have the double AWP coming out for the Giants, so money looking flush as they're getting towards almost, capping out there, Ada and Jenny. So this is lovely, though. I love to see this. This made me happy yesterday as well. Just setting up players for success on your team. It always just feels good.
It feels real good, man. Especially just teamwork is the dream work. And you saw Jenny R there, even towards that secret side of things. I mean, listen, you don't need the best aim in the world if all of your teammates are right there to help you out. And you saw D7 just spamming through the smoke. You heard the flashbangs coming out. When you're a T, already crossing through the smokes and making it down to secret is ass clenchy enough. You know, you're scared you're getting spammed. But then
Sorry,
if you
what
have
was
a
that
forward
phrase?
position, ass clenchy, Lauren.
Ass
Ass
clenchy. Got it.
clenchy.
No, just wanna
Yeah,
make
you
sure.
got to call it what it is. And when you're
You're right.
crossing outside yard, you clench a little bit. It's a little bit nerve wracking, you know. So it was absolutely Giants in the optimal position, just at the perfect choke point, and just capitalizing on that position. So really, Giants, I mean, they are dominating right now, Lauren. These last few rounds haven't even looked close.
It's definitely put a bit of a question mark with Arcane Wave on their T side here. You know, I'm not going to ignore how good they looked throughout their, lead in this one. They certainly did deliver in a number of ways, but Leia, let's keep this under wraps. There it is. Nice little cautious repeat towards ramp. Jenny going to find Pollen. This is so far so good. Not giving up much to these Deagles, not giving them too many times to have success. With Ada being down, though, there is still always a little bit of danger lurking, but with the bomb, back as well. They're looking for any small moments here. But their lead will suddenly disappear, and it will be 13-13 after this round if it goes the way it should.
Certainly looking like it. And if I'm Arcane Wave right now, I'm just kind of taking this time to think or discuss or theory and kind of bounce ideas off each other, because you can certainly see that they've tried different approaches and tried different things, and none of them have seemed to work. And the worst part of it is as I mentioned before, it hasn't even been close. So at this time, I mean, Arcane Wave, they're probably scrambling for ideas. I'd certainly take a pause coming into the next gun round. It may be their last big gun round coming into this half. So definitely they're going to want to try to recollect themselves and come out with the best game plan that they have. That's a good shot from Angie.
Angie's been good, to be fair.
Yeah. Jenny R, she's in a good position, and with just 10 seconds left on the clock, certainly Arcane Waves shouldn't have a chance into this. Kill her, Jenny.
No, dude. Jenny. Please. There we go. That was a struggle. That was a struggle. Jenny feels bad. I feel bad. We all feel bad. Can we just ignore that one? Yeah. Can we just move on? Are we good?
Delete the VOD. Rewind it 5
gone.
seconds. Yep.
Yeah. There we go. Thank you very much. We're moving on. 13-13. Good purchase, at least for the T side here. So we get to see the best attempt at it they're going to get. Double up not present this time for the Giants, of course. They're going to be just running with Leia on that. And Leia's having a bit of a belter too, though. D7, Leia, they're all finding success. Jenny, apart from the round that never happened. Smoke towards ramp, just going to try and slow things down. Looks like the T's are bringing a bit of pace to it, though. They look like they want that fast fight, maybe, but the utility being put into the correct place is going to hinder any early freebies they might have been wanting.
Joka just kind of sniffing out this ramp area, and that forward smoke from Ada, even though she's not going to really push forward, I hope not, it's going to buy her enough time, enough pressure. Oh, she's actually going to push forward through it. This is going to require some help from her teammate. You can see number 7 on the minimap kind of adjusting to have a longer line of sight so that she can actually be the first point of contact. This is probably a little bit more necessary.
Okay,
especially because the T's are going to be clearing all angles. Oh no.
Did they recheck it? Ada, they didn't. I'm surprised they didn't recheck it. They fell off it and didn't check on the way back through. That could have cost them so much. If they'd cleanly got through that, you could imagine they'd maybe have another player up. Even just a 1-for-1 trade would have been not so bad. But with 2 to the bad, there's going to be a lot of pressure on these other players to find some of those moments. Angie's still standing with Olivka having a good round. The silver lining's kicking into play here, so this could be the answer back for Arcane Wave, but we're going to come down to a post plant. CTs can't stop it, and playing it back in with that AWP is going to be pretty treacherous, but the money's there. There's no reason not to go for it. Vodafone Giants, it's time to saddle up and get this one going. Olivka trying to keep control of this cross instantaneously, but loses out on the angle, but swings back in just to perfection, and Leia's options now suddenly become a little bit more limited. What do you do here with that AWP? Can you find those moments, those players? Is anyone going to make a mistake and open up any avenue of approach? Right now, it looks like the answer is a solid no. There we go. Okay, we're good. Angie's good. We're fine.
Yeah,
14-13.
Angie's good. Angie's definitely good. And that's the first round on the board for Arcane Wave here in quite some time. And it was really off the back of good trading, but really Olivka towards this outside yard. You see her getting 2 pickoffs and even the third one to boot down lower. So that light at the end of the tunnel for Arcane Wave, it might be shining a little bit brighter coming to this round. As you mentioned, Lauren, the money on Giant's side, it's perfectly fine. They're going to be good up until the end of this game, potentially. And Leia, we've seen her round 2. Oh no, that's just a leg. She clips. Unlucky.
Feels bad. The big feels bad, but they've had success through that in the past. But this time, losing out on your AWP as well. That was I don't want to say a freebie, but it was a very successful piece that the Giants had definitely working in their favor a couple of rounds. But now the T is sitting at a 4-4. Definitely find some room here, falling back to maybe hit those smokes towards the outside area. Keep those CTs guessing. Looks like they're going to follow it at least for now, so maybe going to eye up Secret. A couple of flashes coming through, keeping them just at arm's length. Jenny obviously unable to see much. I don't think there's a gap there, so they're good to go if they fancy it. High flashes galore, keeping vision so isolated and limited. They're down Secret now. They know what's up. Surely they need to get some players towards that lower level.
Definitely the movements need to come. Ada, though, she's holding her ground, and as she should be, oh, that's a good pickoff for Poland, though. That's huge. Just making a 3 versus 3. Her teammates are already down lower, as you mentioned, Lauren, and Madzix is like, let me out of here. And this is actually even better, just going straight up to the vents. Good movement, good calling coming out of Arcane Wave, and good adjustments. This post plant, it should be easy peasy. Joka, there's no way 80 checks this.
Absolutely not. Beautifully done. Ada, let's see what you got in the tank. This is going to be a hard one to work back in from, but with these players taking their time, Ada's still alive, even if it's just barely 16 HP. All she's got to play with on this, and the last look out, going to be met by sheer force and 15 rounds for Arcane Wave. And that was a hard 4-4 round, that kind of like double dip, right? Kind of head towards B quite late, you know, have that nice success from Pollen over by ramp, swing it back up towards top. The post plants are in place. The T side looking pretty diligent here. I love the movement around the map, as you said.
Definitely, that mobility, that willingness, and Madzix also just booking it out of that site definitely was the checkmate in that position. And Jenny R, she's had so much success outside, and she even dinks up Angie. So just that presence alone from Jenny, just kind of pushing forward in the beginning and doing some splash damage, this should buy at least another 20 seconds for the Giant side of things. Jenny R, towards this connector, she's about to find a lot of traffic come her way.
Might be a layer if they manage to get past one, depending if they go as close as they can. Jenny is just staying still. Statuesque play, but perfect play from Leia, readjusting around towards lockers, but one's up close. That's
Ooh,
That's the follow-up, and Pollen may have gotten close, but now Leia is on fire, and the Giants aren't going down without a fight. Pollen trying to find a way to keep the pressure building, but Leia's on the case, and I think Leia's read this one really, really well. And oh, this is perfection from Leia. One by one they come, and one by one they fall, and Jenny hasn't had to move a muscle. Just waited out, just the safe hands over by the main entry as Jolka sadly has lost all teammates around her. I don't know what you could do at this point. I mean, that's a pretty good way to do it. All right, that's exactly what you do. You bang out 2 headshots back to back and you bring it to a 1v2. Fair play.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, that's the answer. And Jolka here with the bomb on her back, actually. Ooh, I'm excited for this. This is when the personalities start to kind of come out of these players, you know? You can kind of see what they're having. Oh, no. Damn it. Oh. I wanted to see some fancy movement. And I'm sure a player like Jolka could have delivered, but she just gets shot in the back there. Once again, Giants, I mean, that was a good defense. That outside yard hold, Leia with that AWP, just making a statement into this round. And potentially, this is an OT for the first map of the day, Lauren.
You ready for that long day, Potter?
I'm ready. Let's go. Bring on these matches.
Absolute gamer over here. Pollen just... All right, look at the pace on this one. We're going to find out pretty soon how this goes. Ada is on the run. No chance for utility to put into play, even though it's limited as it is. Falling back so far. The T side flooding through. Already won. That's going to be a second. Ada does really so well. And the Ts keep pouring in. It's just Jolka left in a 1v2 and Leia's got the angle. It's going to be done. We're going OT. Oh, my word.
It's happened.
Potter, it's happened.
It's happened, and off the back of that ramp hold, man, it got a little bit dicey there for a moment, but good on Ada to just fall back there and buy time and do so much damage. And is this live? Some late buys coming into the round. That's okay, though, and this is 16K. You see here, Leia doesn't have a kit. That bugs me a little bit. But
I think we saw that yesterday too.
Yeah. Ooh, this is immediate lobby control coming out of the Giants right off the bat.
Fair.
But with that being said, with that many bodies there, it definitely weakens different parts of the map. But I think Giants, they've compensated well for that fact. They've got 2 players down lower. This kind of throws off everything. Because right now, Arcane Wave, they think Giants are all in lobby.
I like this from Jenny, though. Jenny still posted up here. And Jenny has been a pretty solid player, barring that one moment. And again, information. All that utility basically wasted as Jenny knows exactly what is happening and what isn't happening. But a little bit of a curveball being thrown. D7 tries to get some presence noted, and the T's find success in the madness and mayhem that was about to go down. The 2 picks come in, and suddenly these 3 players from the CTs are surrounded as well. Pollen's going to have a wonderful position to find that pressure. Removes Leia, and it's not looking so good for the CTs. And what Jenny watched as it happen, but couldn't do much about it, and 80's in a similar position. 5 standing for the T's here, even with that sort of lobby aggression from the CTs. Not much came from it in the end, as Mad6 waits patiently, sees the barrel, sees the player, sees the kill.
Yeah, really a good response coming out of Arcane Wave, because as you mentioned, Lauren, that lobby crunch, that lobby control in the beginning, it kind of threw Arcane Wave a spanner, or a dice, a curveball, rather. So
they're throwing
a nice
everything.
response. Yeah, they're throwing everything.
It's all coming out. Just the kitchen sink, throw it in there, why not? Yeah, I haven't seen 16K in a while, that is interesting. My brain was like, I think yesterday when I was watching OT, I was like, I see. Plenty of
Did
money.
we have an OT yesterday? My brain already forgot.
Yeah, I think
everything
Jason
that
got it
happened.
in his first game. That's what I remember. I like to support him in these matters. As you do. T-side, though, looking for a little bit of work towards the outside area. Angie, up on that AWP. No one's given much up, though. We saw those kind of dabbling with that CT-sided aggression. You know, we had D7 pushing up at one point, and a nice little swing off the back. Jenny, that flash not so nice. This time again, holding presence. There's the one that we liked before. No one really able to capitalize on it right now, though, as there's still a great deal of presence here. Jenny is going to be put through her paces if they continue forward.
That's a nice find. Such a nice find. Just being a goblin in that smoke towards connector, she gets paid for it. And now all of a sudden, Arcane Wave, they're just... well, they're just holding, running that default. And even that door not being open and Olivka seeing that from the top hut. Sorry, that was not Olivka. But either way, top hut, she just noticed that. That's so much information. So much information.
Okay, let's see if D7... Oh, what? How is D7 allowed to live in this? I really don't understand. Mad6 now going to be put to task. One's more than allowed to go through. D7 just turns on a dime and... This is a very even affair. I mean, 16-16. This is going to be a brutal game, and obviously 16K. No one ever really becomes that impoverished, at least. So, I'm just kind of baffled. It's become this close. I think I echoed the sentiments of potentially the desk at the start. You know, Sapphire saying probably a 2-0, probably a Giants win, but this Arcane Wave has certainly delivered on fronts that they didn't manage to capitalize on yesterday. So it's an excellent game to start the day with. You know, I'm casting the first two. I'm good and free, but before it gets to the late hours. So. Nice. Have a nice day, everyone else. Leia, though, readjusting towards Secret, having a lookout. 3 players on the other side could be in trouble if Leia gets vision on this, but what is the game plan right now for the T's?
That game plan, it does look like Leia's about to run into a lot of traffic here, a lot of targets for her. That Molotov is going to be everything. She decides to just go in and back out. Probably the right call in Ada. This AWP on Olivka's back. She gets picked off, and this defense from Vodafone Giants, it's just going to start dwindling at this point. Olivka, she's got a lot of sight, a lot of map control towards this ramp. That's a lot of intel. So depending on what Arcane Wave does with that information, it's definitely going to make things difficult for Giants.
The Arcane Wave are just kind of holding for a second or two, putting that utility down. There's no rush to it. There's no allowing for misplays, but there's the CT side aggression. They waited, but maybe not long enough. And D7 still putting up some numbers, but 80's the one who's captain to stop this before it really, really starts to become a problem. Mad6 finds 80, so now we're down to just Leia left in the 1v2 as the bells begin to ring behind me. What time is it? Is it 12? It's 12. All right.
Go to church, Lauren.
All right, be right back. Have fun. You can solo this one.
Never mind. Don't go to church, Lauren.
No. It's all your round, buddy. Catch you in a sec, baby. It's all yours.
Leia attempting this retake. Valiant effort. Tries to make it out from that heaven side, but that was definitely tough. 1 versus 2. And once again, a good response from Arcane Wave to kind of solidify that half in OT.
I'm back. Don't worry. I was actually shutting my window, but you can still hear the bells. There is no escaping it. 17-16. My word. I'm surprised. I don't know why. I feel as though both teams have shown such diligence in the way they approach it. For example, I loved what the Vodafone Giants were showing on that T side. Super exciting executes, some really nice approaches. But again, it's both sides have shown their different approaches, varying approaches, but both very, very valid in what they do. So curious to see if, again, the Giants lean on those more set pieces, because I love to see it.
Well, your wish is their command, I think, Lauren, because you can see that Giants right now, they're setting up for that set piece. And we've seen this set piece actually before. It's towards this upper. But Mad6, she's one up them. She's in a forward position towards this hut. There's not going to be a single flashbang or utility that catches her off guard. And as I say that, she falls back just a little bit. And here we go.
And the fear of all of this is going to be Jenny leading the way. Already Leia's fallen, but Jenny's success is going to open up that upper side of things. Beautiful follow-up as well, but Angie watching with those eagle eyes from up on top at least finds one, but by now the CTs have to be forced into this retake and the auto sniper on the playback. I mean, it works for one, but the second evades, and now it's a 2v2, Potter.
An auto sniper on Poland's back. That's hilarious. What a meme. But Angie, okay, it works. It was all off the back of that auto sniper on Poland's back to initiate this retake. That's definitely not something I want to be saying all the time, but Poland, she makes it work this time around.
We love an auto sniper. It's, truly a stunning weapon. But Angie Angie's been probably a bit of a standout for me, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I didn't get to pay too much attention towards Angie yesterday, if I'm honest, in comparison to some of the other players. But she's definitely having a couple of, big moments going forward. But everyone's kind of stepped up here a fair amount. I think the same can be said for both sides. We're seeing probably the best of them. I think yesterday's games were very much maybe not the best offering from some of the players and some of the teams, maybe nerves, whatever it may be. Certainly played a big part in this. But it is Arcane Wave on match point. God, imagine having a UI that works. Valorant. Dude, I'm just like a jilted Valorant caster these days. That's it. I come back here and I look at, my neighbors who have everything and my lawn looks like garbage. But for now, 18 to 16, Vodafone Giants need to make this count. Tricky on the T side, but certainly capable. And the CT's shown so much confidence in how they approach this.
Definitely a lot of confidence coming out from both of these squads for sure. And Angie, she's got that AWP. She's got a little bit of a different position this time around, staying very far back on that top Raptor from the get-go. And this auto sniper comes out on Poland's back once again. You have to keep in mind, this is 16k OT. She's the ramp player, so, it's not the worst position to have it with. But if she finds herself in a retake scenario once again, that's when it just becomes a little bit of a meme. So Arcane Wave have to be able to handle this round well, and that's exactly what they're doing. Julka finds a pick, Olivka. She's a little bit nervous about her connector, and this timing is going to be everything for her. But repositioning, this is huge.
Oh, Mad Six almost kept check on this, and Olivka, as said, slightly out of position now, and the T's get away with a little bit more than maybe they would have before. But they are down to just 3, so they're going to have to make it work, even in the moments where maybe they shouldn't be able to. Oh, Pollen. Ooh, the auto sniper. Is it really going to be such of a divisive factor? I feel as though it will be. 80 and Ada. Deary me. No easy scenario here for either of them. You come on the bench, you got Olivka. And the gun barrel. What? Ada gets away with murder. 20 seconds though. Where is that bomb? It's on the back of 80, and she is barreling down towards ramp. Angie misses the shot that she's probably wanted. Should have given up all those others for, but now the bomb going to be planted on the lower side of things. Instantly, Ada comes to the aid of 80. Christ, I can't do this 80 though. Watching that ramp play, this is looking like we've got another one on the board for the Giants here, potentially.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, Julka, she's got the kit, she's got full utility, but this is such a tough position to be in. And Ada, she does well. She handles it well. And this is one of those rounds where Vodafone Giants, they kind of outpaced. I mean, that vent coming up from the get-go for Ada to just come pre-firing and swinging, that really initiated everything. And once again, Poland with that auto sniper in such a forward position is definitely not optimal. So things, I mean, they look great for Arcane Wave to start, but we've been seeing it all series long, all game long rather, where neither of these teams, they're not willing to lose. Lauren, they're not willing to lose. They're being scrappy and they're clawing their way back into these rounds.
Is it double OT time? Are we going all the way on the first game? How many coffees will Potter consume by the end of the day? Honestly, I'll put a bet up. If any of you get it right, I'll give you one of my skins in CSGO. There you go. It's on.
You can't just be giving away free skins like that, Lauren.
I mean,
I guess you can.
Let me live my life, all right? It's to the benefit of our delightful viewers. For now, a delightful factor is that smoke is not on. Big bad smoke. Jenny, though, working around it, looking to try and maybe catch off the Orpa on the other side. I'm pretty sure that's Angie patrolling, looking for anyone out of place, and Jenny's certainly close enough by, but unable to find that success towards each other, or at least the vision. But by now, Ramp's looking like it's getting a fair amount of attention. Angie, though, Jenny goes down, and now Jolk is going to be asked a big question. 2 players lining up. They might swing on this one.
That's nice. That's nice from Julka. Well handled, and that's it.
I was ready for the double OT, and I've been devastated. No, congratulations to Arcane Wave. A really nice performance from them. And bear in mind, this is Giants' pick. This was Giants' choice coming into this map. So, again, I don't think it was a bad pick from the Giants. They still looked pretty solid. I think they looked diligent. I think we're seeing a different Arcane Wave, though. Definitely a different picture to yesterday, Potter. A different look maybe today.
Oh, different indeed. I mean, just looking at Juoka's stats, man, it is wild. Not only did she have 30 kills and over 80 ADR in this match, but she had the most flashbang assists as well, 5+ flashbang assists. So a really great performance coming out of them. But Giants as well, I mean, they were no slouch. This was a brawl. This was a back and forth swing session. So it was a fantastic opening for this series.
It certainly was. I mean, a little OT there, always going to be a little bit of a, icing on the cake for me. Always fun. Inferno, though, is going to be coming up in just a moment's time. So, guys, do stay tuned. This is your opportunity to go get a snack, get a can of Monster. It's gone past, is it afternoon? Yeah, it is. You're fine. You're good to go. Go get a Monster. Get yourself ready to go for that next one, because we'll be looking to see if maybe Arcane Wave can close this out into 2-0. So, we'll be back in just a moment.